Shalom, shalom. Let me put this video on.
Listen, the world has now changed forever for Americans, and it's going to change a lot more. And I don't think most Americans realize this. But let me tell you a little bit about history, okay? And if you're old like me, you'll go, oh yeah, I remember this, right? And if you're not and you're young, you should just sit there and shut up and listen. Because let me tell you something, history is about to repeat itself. And it's going to be scary as fuck, you guys. It really is. Like, listen, like, as Americans, we've been protected since World War II, okay? And here's the thing, man. The only reason that America emerged basically unscathed from World War II was because of its geography. That's it. That's it. I mean, we've got the perfect geography, and that's the only reason why. And so basically what happened is, like, all of the winners and the losers of World War II were fucking decimated, man. Like, every place was decimated except the United States, right? And so we started basically this whole like help rebuild everybody else kind of deal with our land leases, and we made money off of it, of course. Of course, right? And we became a superpower because we were the only fucking Western country like still functioning, right? And so at this time,
Hopefully we can hold this. Let's bring out the scripts as we go through. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors and salutations to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone, the elder bishops, and greeting to the hopeful elect. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, or other true biblical bloodline Israelites, as well as the Israelite foreigner Gentiles that might look like the heathen. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, who the world ignorantly, foolishly called God or Jesus. All right, so, he spoke about America. Let me just grab something. Pretty much this is what he's saying. All right, right here, Isaiah 47:1. Okay, because like he said, America was only, because of its geography, it's kind of been out of the way. It makes it hard for other nations to invade and, pretty much destroy the campus of America. And you know what? That's why the scriptures also liken, Babylon the Great, or aka America, to Tyre and Sidon, because it was also like a port city. Okay, when you go in Revelations 11:8, the great city is speaking about America, because a city can only be as big as its citizens. And from sea to shining sea, from the east coast to the west coast, you are a United States citizen of America in these cities. So this is the great city full of idols, Babylon the Great, the great place of confusion. All right, it says, come down, Isaiah 47, and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Because remember, America came about after the American Revolutionary War, and, Spain and France and the Brits, they were casted down after those wars. And you had America spring up, and that's documented in Daniel's the 7th chapter. All right, but since then, you haven't had any foreign hands on the soil, so-called. Now behind the scenes, the small hat, right? But all of your politicians, everybody put in front of you, were being told to claim America or Americans, and president, the Senate, the goddamn Supreme Court, the mayor, the governor, which shows you this is Rome, all right, coming back, revised Rome, Revelation the 13th chapter, But this is Babylon, because this is all the nations in one: Greece, Rome, Okay, Neo-Babylonian, Syrian, all right, Egypt, all right, the scriptures, all right. So the way this place is going to be brought down is no different from any other empire that was brought down, but worse. Okay, we're at the last leg of this thing in Daniel's the 12th chapter. And as you can see, Babylon the Great, we're in the beginning stages of some rough ways. Okay, the well-favored harlot in Revelations is talking about America, who sat on the scarlet-colored beast, all right, which is NATO and the EU, her allies, okay, that are in bed with her, and then these other nations. And all these other nations have a distasteful taste right now because Babylon is bugging out, because what you have going on in Babylon is the voice of the Lord. All right, this is the main hub of where the judgment is going to take place when the Lord returns. So you have the prophets all throughout Babylon. Okay, they were raised up in Babylon, as the scriptures say. I will deliver you from Babylon. Okay, where you will be delivered. I forget where that's at. Okay, so we've been raised up, and the deliverance is coming. And so the dude behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz, the Edomite, all right, that's pulling the string, the so-called white man, he's bugging out. He don't know what to do with himself. All right, he's in a last stand of hope that these prophecies, what we're saying, is untrue. The last taste of his rulership is slipping, through his hands. And the fact that America, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. You think about a delicate virgin, a female untouched, of marriageable age, youthful, and she got to hit the streets, and then she becomes defiled. Well, that's Babylon the Great. All right now, because of the politics, what does the scripture say? Through his policies. All right, these people that's running it, there's no more wisdom and teaming among these Edomites, among the so-called white man. Those days are over. Okay, the Lord is now returning Esau, Edom, back to his natural state. Okay, he's bringing him down into the pit. All right, bringing him low. That base mindset again, that caveman. All right, it says, for there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for there shall no more be called tender and delicate. So America is getting ready to go through some super hard changes. All right, and let's get this scripture. Go right to it in Ezekiel. Okay, some very, very hard changes, and it'll never be the same. Okay, for one, this war is going to be used to further destroy the dollar, or the petrodollar, further bring in a pluribus unum. That's what you see on your dollar bills, a Latin word for all in one, a one world order. All right, the global elite, the dude behind the curtain, they don't need Babylon the Great anymore as the hammer on earth, as the spearhead of Edomite supremacy or white supremacy. All right, because it's all about power. It's all about who's in charge of the world, who calls the shots. All right, and that spirit is being that attitude and that spirit is being outdated. It's outdated. Okay, Esau is outdated. He's been running the same play over and over again. He's been figured out. Let's go back, because it actually said that, and he doesn't know that he's been found and caught wanting. All right, because he's used to winning. All right, but now he's getting ready to experience a downfall, a side where everything he touches, okay, he's going to experience the curses, and there'll be nothing, as it says in Isaiah, I think the 28th chapter, he's going to be snared and pulled back. These curses shall be upon him, just like they're upon us, who caught and snared by the curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. 1 second, man. They don't even want to come up, man. 1 second, man. And then we're going to let that dude go back and talk. Isaiah 24, So now, everything seemed to work. The deception, the robbery, you know what I'm saying? The false science and all that stuff. But now all this stuff is being exposed. All right. And the weak are now saying, I'm strong. Joel, the 3rd chapter. These other nations have militaries and missiles. Okay. And it's just another spirit in the earth now. All right. There's a spirit of war, and all the nations are rising up. The Most High is gathering the nations. So everybody wants next. And little do they know, the Israelites are going to be next. All right. This is Isaiah 47. It says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover the locks and make bare the leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, the shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord is taking vengeance by uncovering this place, showing you just how filthy this place really is underneath the glory of a Hollywood or a Beverly Hills or city New York, man. It's just weird. Okay. Two of the biggest states in America, Cali and New York, are the weirdest places in the world. Okay, and there's an underground and all throughout this country, very demonic, satanic secret societies. Okay, that's why America was nothing but an experiment, a social experiment for the people, because it was never really meant for the people. It was just a corporation. It was used to extract the world's resources and be the spearhead for the spirit. All right, you see what I'm saying? And produce the pseudoscience and deceive the nations. All right, now, okay, these devils have nothing else to do. It's corrupted. James the 5th chapter. The prophets are here. Okay, the truth is already out. The fact that we even expose these devils and we know the stuff that they've hidden for so long from us, that's proof to them that they got to move to their next plan. All right, but let's get this. This is Ezekiel. Let's let him talk some more. Let me just hold this real quick. You hear me? Tyre and Sidon. Let me just look up a map. Okay, because that's the only thing that's kept. Okay. Ancient map of Tyre and Sidon. So you can get a glimpse. All right. Now, look at this. Tyre. Look at how it's set, right? The North Sidonian harbor. That's old Tyre, and so it's a port city. So if you wanted to conquer this place, all right, they had the advantage, really. Okay, you had to come up on water. You know how it is to fight a front on water, where you had a disadvantage. You're like sitting duck. As you come upon the shore, you're a sitting duck. So this is why this was a thriving port city. Okay, the land, America, I think it's in Ezekiel, is also known as the city of unwalled villages. All right. And, a lot of foreign treaties are within the laws of America now that are illegal to the Constitution. So how much more as this dystopian, era comes forth and, they crash this economy, the super elite, which they don't live in America. Okay. As they, they actually allow these foreigners to come out and fill the gaps. Okay, they're gonna send all the American armies overseas, and then everywhere you go is gonna be foreigners that speak other languages. Like that now. They're replacing these people into your job markets, and a lot of them are just laying low. All right, this is why you're hearing a lot of talk about sleeper cells, because you're gonna look up one day and you're gonna see all kind of crazy shit happening just to destabilize this place. Okay, look at the mayor of New York. All right. Because Esau knows that this place is over. All right. He's getting chased out of the earth. So this is Tyre. So America, this is how it looks. It's in the middle of the ocean, a city of unwalled villages. All right. Now let's play some more of this. And then I want to read a few scriptures out of about Tyre. All right. And Sidon. Man, where the fuck? Every time you leave the post, it does this, man. It's just crazy.
Listen, after World War II, we became and everybody and toppling governments. So this is the time when the CIA was formed, Mossad was formed, Israel was formed. Holy shit, dude. The world since then, let me tell you, not so good, right? But for Americans, it's been great, right? We haven't had any problems because we're just off fucking up everybody else's lives and getting rich off of it.
Yeah, this became the hammer of the earth. It was the Lord's will. Isaiah 47 chapter. And many other scriptures speak about Babylon the Great, again, being that great city, being the mother of all harlots, nations, meaning the mother of witchcraft, like just a wicked nation, of the most wicked nation out there to ever live. Okay, scriptures speak about Babylon being the hammer of the earth, being a golden cup in the Lord's hand. All right, he ruleth in the kingdom of men. This is all just a script that has been playing out. He raised up rulers and bring them down. Okay, and ultimately, the house of David is technically supposed to be the only kingdom, but the Lord is saving the best for last. And there's a reason, okay, that he gave all you nations a time to rule, but technically the earth is going to be given into the house of David. All right, David and Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call JC. That's going to be the new government body on the new earth. All right, real soon. Okay, as they push this digital mark of the beast system, that's going to be it. That's going to summon the Lord. All right, and we're here because there's nowhere else to go. They know they have a short time. Okay, Revelations 12, and they're not going to let these, a good thing go to waste. These not false flags, but these wars. Okay, the dollar, gas. Hey man, they getting ready to really exhaust this thing. They're gonna take it all the way. Okay, fully dump the dollar, bring in the federal government, social, credit, surveillance states, mass genocide, man. Okay, below a third world country overnight, and this place is never going to be delicate again. Okay, then it's going to get burned with missiles. All right. So it's amazing to me how people are still asleep, man. Okay, because if Babylon had its manifest destiny, it was prophesied to come. Okay. All right, but then it was also prophesied to be taken down, and it's looking like Revelation 17 is playing out something crucial, because it speaks about the beast is going to, hate the horde. The America's allies is going to shoot missiles on this place and turn against this place, and we seeing, we always say, starting with our elders, it's going to be something that the little hats do to get Babylon. Hey, we the one who brought that out first. Babylon into the Third World War, and we're seeing it. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Only vehicles are able to get through there are, ships that are not in league with America, nations that are not in league with America. And you have some of those countries on the east over there that are in league with America that, are sustained from that oil. All right. And they got about like a couple months supply before they totally, what do you call that? When you implode. All right. So now America's allies are like, man, look at what you got us into. We're not really messing with you like that. And then you left us out here because at the beginning of this Iran thing, you had a few nations like the Saudis and other places that were being threatened and bombed, right? And Babylon couldn't help them. All right, because Babylon, aka America, all of their military bases have been destroyed. Okay, to the point where they've been asking to, post up in other people's backyard because they a lot of their bases that were close proximity, to Iranian borders have been destroyed tactically. Okay, so it's only a matter of time the trickle down effect really, shows up here in America, which it already has. There's homelessness everywhere. Okay, this place is literally just propped up. All right, quantitative easing, but now the petrodollar is through. Okay. The money, the FRN overseas is completely devalued, done. The nations ain't fucking with Babylon. You got Babylon, boasting itself, putting sanctions on all these nations. So this is a controlled demolition from on high. Okay? A kingdom of base people that no longer, can keep this thing going. All of their wisdom has been taken by the Most High, man. These are the plagues 2.0, and I forget where it's at in Wisdom of Solomon, where it literally speaks about how pharaohs and magi's and his high level witches and warlocks, they could perform all of these black magic, these miracles on the left hand, all right, to make them, make them look like gods to Pharaoh. So Pharaoh had his own priesthood. Today, that's pseudoscience, okay? But guess what? The Most High, the Spirit of the Most High went in and overtook and really, absolved those weak ass little, that magic that they were doing, okay? And overtook, all right, via, the omnipotence of the Most High, meaning all power. Okay, so that's what we see. We see, all right, Yahweh Shemal Shai getting ready, not even getting ready, but now his spirit is, all right, consuming the earth, and there's not going to be any peace. All right, it's only going to get worse for the wicked.
And insecure, right? And we're in this bubble because of our geography, right? We're protected over there. Like, even now, this whole thing with Iran, right? Iran can't fucking send missiles to the United States. They can fucking touch just about every.
Hey, well, that's what prophecy got everything covered. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Be ye a guard. Okay, Gog and Magog, well, Russia. Be ye a guard unto Persia and Libya, Ethiopia, all North Africa, China. Technically, all right, at any given time, which they've already been speaking about it, the North Korean supplying Iran with weapons, technology. They don't, they're being guarded by other major powerful nations. Okay, and yeah.
Everybody else can touch us, right? And so yeah, they might have some cells here, some terrorist cells. We've seen a lot of movies about that. Worried about that a little bit, but like America largely is protected by its geography. We're an ocean away from fucking everything that's happening, right?
Yeah, but in a new age, Joel the 3rd chapter, let the weak say I'm strong. Beat your plowshares into beat your plowshares into pruning hooks. Okay, and the weapons. Put all your money into war. Let the weak say I'm strong. All these other nations that used to have to bow down, they can stand up and fight now. Okay, it speaks about, again, Ezekiel the 38th chapter. I don't want to get it because this video is I want to play this. You know how I be cutting off. It speaks about all the weapon in the weaponry and horses and in that same chapter that are going to be guarding Persia, which are the modern day Iranians. They're not going to be used, okay, swift, military, you know what I'm saying? So, again, Babylon the Great, they're just so used to winning. It's just like a boxer, in his prime. He's hungry before he gets all the wealth. Then he gets older. He's been sitting on the throne for so long. Somebody younger and, more fashionable, not fashionable, but hungry, a little more style and grace. Hey, they take the throne. Dude is not hungry. The prior champ is not as hungry as he was when he was that age. And that's where, that's where Babylon the Great is. Outdated, played out. And ultimately the Most High, is getting ready to release us from this prison house. Okay?
And so we have this false sense of security. And life has gotten easy for us. We just go to the grocery store, we buy the food we want, this and that. And our toughest thing has been the economy. It's like, how can we afford groceries? But nobody's off planting their gardens. Nobody's off hunting their meat. Nobody's off fishing for their fish. No. We don't even know how to do that shit.
Shit is damn near illegal to do that. You got to have all these certificates and licenses,
Half of us anymore. Most of the Americans are, Jesus Christ, man, if you dropped them in fucking rural Texas for 2 weeks, they'd die.
Yeah, let's get this. So we showed you the, landscape. But see, that's why the Lord put it in the minds of those German scientists, the Temanites, as the scriptures say, Isaiah 54. I've created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire to bring forth, the destroyer to destroy, which are those missiles. The Lord created all right, the very scientists, and downloaded that mathematics in their skull to produce the weapons of his judgment, the weapons of his indignation. Because you have to remember in Genesis 27, Esau Edom was blessed with the sword to take peace from the earth, reiterated in Revelations. I think that's in the 6th chapter, or either the 16th chapter. The red horse, the pale horse. His job is to take peace from the earth. But see, the thing about a carnal man, about the sword, what did the Lord say? If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So the Most High literally gave him a sword. All right. But he's going to also let him experience, as the scriptures say, this is the heritage of the wicked. Okay. This is the heritage of a carnal man, of a man that trusts in the sword. And that's all this man has done, is murdered unjustly via the sword, the animals and the people. So he's going to not only die by the sword, but also the Lord, all right, is going to seek vengeance on these people, these Edomites, starting with these Edomites and these other nations. All right. So the Israelites are up next. Okay. Not you heathen nations. This is, and this is why 2/3 of our people are going to die, because they want nothing to do with a ruling class mentality. All right. Let me start here. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, now thou son of man, take up a lamentation for Tyrus. And that's what we're doing. Okay. We're lamentating, we're making lamentation for this place. We're the only ones. Everybody else is, the scriptures speak about many false prophets that have gone out. It's not speaking about one false prophet to come with a tuxedo on. Okay. Everybody's proclaiming peace. The next 5 years we get another president, or no, there will be no peace. All right. And as we can see how the Lord is getting ready to come upon you people as a thief in the night. And it is very, it's amazing how you people can't see what's coming. All right. But a lot of you're so blinded by social media, the media, sports, bread and circus, pretty much. And you don't want to see anything else. But ultimately, it's the Heavenly Father. All right. He wants to surprise you people. OK, he wants you to continue to do your wickedness, because when he come upon you, he's going to do some quick sweeps, man. It's going to be very bloody and violent. OK, because you people are people of death and violence, hatred, negativity, wickedness, anti-life. All of you, man, that haven't accepted the love of the truth. OK, in some form of way. It says, and say unto Tyrus, oh, that thou art situate at the entry of the sea. Yeah, so even that place, it made it hard to, that's why that place was always a thriving port city. I think now today, dealing with Lebanon, that area over there, I could be wrong. Okay, it says, which are a merchant of the people for many isles, just like America is a merchant city. It made China, all of these countries rich. Okay, America got rich at the beginning, free labor from slaves. Okay, all right, from the Hebrews, the Hebrew Israelites, right? Not African slaves, they were Hebrews, Northern and Southern Kingdom. All right, and they were what? The third industrial revolution. What did they do? They exported. Okay, they became rich. All right, filthy rich. All right, and then they became an import city. So then they started making money through consumerism, capitalism. Okay, and really the capitalism was upon the Israelites. Okay, which are the base foundation of society, and everybody else profits and become entrepreneurs, and your base medial laborers are the Israelites. Okay, so this has been a prison, nothing but a prison house. And if you're in your right mind, you'd understand that. Okay, but the wicked love oppression. All right, so now that the Most High is putting a spirit for the literal oppressor to do what he does best, now you want to complain because your liberty, all right, your liberty to do evil is getting ready to be disrupted. All right, by the judgment of the Lord. And Esau can't save you. The so-called white man can't save you, man. It says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Tyrus, thou hast said, I am of perfect beauty. That's what you people said. You didn't think this day would come where America would be flooded with immigrants, okay, all right, that are not for your cause. All right, because all of the rich, well-to-do billionaire or the Edomites, that little secret society, man, they've even sold out their their labor, okay, they're their own people. The labor bottom class of their own people, the other Edomites, are living like niggas. Okay, and this is their blessing. They're in their kingdom. This is supposed to be their kingdom. They're all supposed to get a piece, but only the 1% is divvying that up. And they sold you the dream, all right, that this was a beautiful place and it was going to sell off into the sunset forever, sparkling. Okay, thy borders are in the midst of the seas. Thy builders have perfected thy beauty. Okay, bridges. I mean, it's just so much in America that attracts, Hollywood. And see, they're still able to feed you Americans off of that same dream because you're so desperate right now, all right, to save your lives. You're so desperate to see it one way. You have itching ears, as the scriptures say. All right, but see, we're not founded at the overthrow of this place because we understand this is not the kingdom, and this place is wicked as hell. And see, your judgment has been blinded. A gift destroyeth the heart. All of the evil gifts you received in this place has destroyed your mind to the point where you don't want a righteous kingdom. You don't even know what that is. You think this is righteous. All right. But these plagues that are coming, all right, that are here, it's gonna be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right. Let's get this. And it came to pass on the 11th year, in the first day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, because that Tyrus hath said against Jerusalem, the people of the Lord, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Aha, she is broken. That was the gates of the people. She is turned unto me, I shall be replenished. Now she is laid waste. That's all right. That's what the heathen said to our people. All right, we've conquered the Gadites, the American Indians, the Seminole Indians, the tribe of Reuben and Gad and Manasseh, the Cubans, the Haitians, all of the tribe, the Negroes. Okay. And this is what your boy, the dude from Germany with the little mustache, your boy Hitman. Okay. I got my whole page taken down for doing a lesson on that. He quoted that one day, America was making a great mistake because one day they will have to pay up because they stole the Most High, God's jewels, which are his people. And we're now at that point. As it says, she is broken. It says, Son of man, because Tyrus has said against Jerusalem, aha, she is broken. You see, that was the gate of the people. So this is the place, Babylon, all right, which when you go in the book of Psalms, it places Esau, Edom, as ruling over the daughter of Babylon. We're in the daughter of Babylon. Okay, this is where we were destroyed. All right, the last kingdom before the kingdom of heaven. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Tyrus, and I will cause many nations to come up upon thee, as the sea causes his waves to come up. All you can see, all the nations even America's allies. If you're keeping up with the news, it's looking like in the very near future, America ain't gonna have no allies if she keeps on, and we know she's gonna keep on going this way. It's been the same story. It's just that now this shit ain't working. It's playing against her because we're at the end of the border. The Lord said he has set bounds that they cannot cross. We're at the end of Esau's bounds. He's reached his pinnacle, which his pinnacle was in the 1960s. All right, when he was playing, shooting stuff up in the satellites, putting stuff up into space, not outside of the Van Allen's belt, but that was when the Lord started to bring him down. That was when the Lord put his spirit back in the earth through a name, man, Albert Bivens, who was Elijah to come, all right, to set this truth straight, man. In the spirit of John the Baptist, that's actually who came, all the way down to the 144,000, which we're all speaking now. And then the 1/3, the rest of our people that's waking up, man, woman, and child. And this is why only small few of us believe, all right, we understand this truth, this Bible. Because it's exactly that, the elect, the 1/3, man. All right. Revelation, the 7th chapter goes into it. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. So I'm against, the Lord is against this place. All right. And you can see these nations being stirred up. You can actually see that there's a spirit upon these nations to just sit back and look at Babylon the Great as a joke. All right. Even Iran is like, man, we've been waiting for this. We've been playing it humble because we knew we was gonna get. All right. It's come out that America been shooting down paintings. Look it up, paintings. The Iranians, been drawing paintings on the ground, high level paintings, and America been bombing those things, thinking they've been blowing up jets and all kind of different shit. Come to find out, okay, they've been made a mockery. Why do you think they need a draft now? Okay, America's been losing. They're losing terribly. You're talking about thousands of service members, and they're not telling you in the media. Okay, this is why the draft is up next, because none of these nations respect Babylon. It's a joke. Look at these Edomites, these old Edomites they put in front of you, these so-called white men. They all are degenerates. This is how you know we're at the end of America. Okay? It's a joke. Everybody's a joke in this country, man. Nobody won't even acknowledge what's going on in public. Okay? That's how docile Americans are. They don't, as long as they could go to work, they're so oppressed. As long as they could just be oppressed on their front porch, that's cool. Not even understanding the severity of how much more oppression is coming. That's how beat down these people are. The genetically modified foods, the poisons in the foods, it has everybody just slumped over, man. Tired, weak, sick. People are too sick to fight, man. And then their energy is too drained to fight. Okay, there's all type of military grade psyops is going on. Energy, weapons being beamed on the people, frequencies. All right, traffic being orchestrated every day in certain cities. Keep people drained. People being socially engineered to do weird shit, gang stalking and shit. All right, so the Lord's Spirit is against this place, man. There's all kind of plagues going on that's not even written in the book now. Okay. It says, and they shall destroy the walls of Tyrus and break down her towers. I will also scrape her dust from her and make her like the top of the rock. Okay, so at some point we're gonna see missiles and shit and guns. No structure in America. We're gonna see cities decimated. We're gonna see military troops, cities with blockades, diseases, lockdowns, where they just let the people die and kill each other in the cities. Okay, mercenary teams going throughout the cities, wiping people out, stealing stuff out your home, whatever resources you got. People are going to be doing the same to one another, man. Okay, so those walls are going to be broke down. All right, because there's invisible walls up, and people, like the police, they just have a certain level of respect, but really they don't outnumber the people at any time. The infrastructure of the Americans, once they can be thrown down, and the people can take back. All right, but you people have waited so long. They got systems and technology and weapons. All right, Revelation speak about it. Okay, they got weapons ready for you in mass. All right, you were supposed to revolt it 30 years ago, 40 years ago. All right, when they started with the feminist movement, when they started with, they took the gold, they took the dollar off the gold standard. Okay, when they implemented the birth certificate and Social Security and all that madness, you people were supposed to, you were never supposed to trust in this evil, in Pharaoh, man. Okay. It says, it shall be a place for the spreading of nets in the midst of the sea, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord Yahweh. It shall become a spoil to the nations. All right, that's how you know it's over, because who would have thought that the way America sits so far from everybody, that everybody can reach this place. Russia can reach this place with those arrows. It speaks about that in Edris. Okay, when arrows begin to be shot into the ends of the earth, it's speaking about the modern day arrow, which is they had a movie called Broken Arrow dealing with the missiles. They're called intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. And they're already aimed. All right. It says, yeah, so this place is going to be like a net. Like somebody put a net over this place and gotcha. You know, for her daughters, which are in the fields, shall be slain by the sword, and they shall know that I am the Lord. You see? One second. All right, so we're going 16. Then all the princes of the sea shall come down from their thrones and lay their robes and put off their broidered garments. They shall clothe themselves with trembling. They shall sit upon the ground. They shall tremble at every moment. Yeah, at the fall of Babylon the Great. That links up with Revelations 18. That links up with Isaiah the 14th chapter. And it says, and astonished at thee. Because once America's fully gone, man, that's really going to put fear into these other nations. And the whole money system trade is going to be completely through. All right, but it's already destroyed. Okay, geopolitically, America is now getting ready to change to something we've never seen, and it's never going back. This place is a trap. That's why it says in the book of Hosea that the northern kingdom, you so-called Latinos, you bring your children up from your lands to the murderer. This is getting ready to be a dangerous place to be. And they shall take up lamentation for thee and say to thee, how art thou destroyed? That was inhabited of seafaring men. Yeah, America was known for its greatest navy. You just had a destroyer. You just had one of those hit with missiles the other day. And they're not bringing it out in the mainstream media. All right, so you wonder how many have actually been destroyed, how many deaths, just from that alone. All right, because America has a reputation they're trying to keep. All right, so of course they have to draw up this propaganda to get patriotism, but hey, the spirit of Babylon is gone. Okay, this place has not been patriotic or righteous towards its own people, and there is no more wisdom among these Edomites. All right. You just have a bunch of cavemen in suits at this point. And that's how the Lord is bringing this devil down, which was strong in the sea, she and her inhabitants, which caused their terror to be on all that haunted. That's how it used to be. All right, but it's no longer like that. Now shall the isles tremble in the day of thy fall. You see? Yea, the isles that are in the sea, shall be, troubled at thy departure, man. Okay. The Lord said, cursed shall be the cities that oppress the nation of Israel. This whole world is cursed. The curses are coming upon this whole world. Okay. All the nations are in derision. They're confused. All right. They're bugging out, man. That's all these nations know to do is to gather the war. They know something's coming, but okay, little do they know the Lord is just going to hit everybody all at once, take down the world together, man. All these nations down together. So we right here. It says, when I shall bring them, this is 20, when I shall bring thee down with them that descend into the pit, okay, with the people of old time, and shall set thee into the low parts of the earth, in places desolate of old, with them that go down to the pit. Okay, all of these empires that came up and fell. Okay, America and these other world leaders and other nations are going to go down to the grave too. That thou be not inhabited, and I shall set glory in the land of the living. Yeah, we're going to take our land back, and that's where we're going to rule out of, the whole planet plus the other planets. And that's going to be the beginning of the kingdom here on earth. And I will make thee a terror, and thou shalt be no more. Though thou be sought for, yet shalt thou never be found again, saith the Lord. All right, so there'll never be another America, another city of comfort. All right, where you could comfortably do your wickedness. All right, the kingdom is next, man. And with that, man, we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, shalom.